I don't have audio on the backtrack. Where is my backtrack audio? Did I? There it is. Hello, everybody. Hi. Hi. How are we all doing? Hello. Hi. I'm not. I'm not. So I actually don't know how long I'm gonna last tonight, but I wanted to see you guys. So hi Isis, welcome. Hi Doom, hi B-Man, hi Naverno, hi Soup. How's everybody doing? I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're doing better than I am. In case you guys, there are a few people who aren't, like, in case you missed it, I'm sick. I hope I feel better soon too. I was really debating on whether or not I was gonna cancel stream tonight. I'm sick. You're sick too? Commiserating. Oh, thank you for the head pat. I have some room temperature carbonated water here. I went out and I because I had to go and get some stuff to make sure, because I'm getting my roof cleaned tomorrow.
Water and water and water, water, 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 water and water and water.
I'm noticing that I sounded. Thank you. You wanted to see me too. Thank you. I appreciate it. I noticed that as soon as I started mostly normal when I first opened my mouth to speak, and the more that I'm speaking, the worse that I'm sounding. Do I feel good enough to stream? I don't know. We'll see how I go. I got eucalyptus. I got eucalyptus tissues. I got some Vicks vapor drops, butter menthol flavor, and we'll see how we go. Mostly can hear it a bit, yeah. I have a suspicion that it's gonna get worse as the night goes on. I can feel it in my throat. So we'll see how I go. Please forgive me if I have to wrap up stream early. I'm sick. Anyway, since today is the first day of the week, I should probably run over what I was up to. I've been up to a couple of things. Thank you for the ponytail. I made cookies for my family. Don't push it too hard, thank you. I'll try my best not to push it too hard. I've been mostly relaxing since I started getting sick. That was like the night before yesterday. I started feeling a little bit my throat hurts, but at the time, this is gonna sound really funny, but I got a massive Resident Evil 9 spoiler, and it hit me in the stomach with this trauma response, and I was like, oh shit, oh no. But then I started feeling a tingle in my throat, so I was like, oh, it's just because I'm upset about the thing that I found out, which I won't spoil you guys on. You don't need that. Yeah, I'm supposed to go out with my friends, so I'm trying to feel better by chucking coconut water. Yeah, I had an immune shot, and it is ginger and turmeric and orange juice and all that sort of shit, and it tasted like bile. It tasted like I was drinking puke. Which is not actually the worst thing that I've ever drunk out of one of those little shot bottles. The worst thing I've ever drunk out of one of those little shot bottles tasted this is not me saying I have drunk this particular fluid, right? But when you're dealing with something, and even though you're not tasting it, you're smelling it, and you know how it tastes because you're smelling it. Well, this particular shot is like a stomach probiotic thingy majiggy. It tastes like the water in the bottom of a bin. Like, you know, yeah. That one I have to hold my nose for. That one is real bad. That one's real bad. I don't know how it's on the market. So yeah. But yeah, the stagnant dregs, yep, the really questionable color, and it's not even like not even a standard indoor bin either. Like, I'm talking about a wet, like the bin that you put out on your curb. That bin, the water in that bin. That's anyway. I only drink those when I really have to. So I made cookies. Sorry, you're gonna have to bear with me today, because like it's not just in my throat, it's like in my sinuses, and I had a sinus headache earlier, and I've had some painkillers, so it's not as bad. When the bin has maggots, why you drink that? It's good for your stomach. It's good for your stomach. It actually helps my stomach. It it settles it. It's good for it, but it doesn't taste nice. Sometimes things that taste bad are good for you. This is one of those times, unfortunately. But yeah, I did some cooking. Made some cookies. I made both a vegan batch, which was for me, and then a dairy batch with no eggs, which was for my sister. Because I made a batch of cookies for her, and I brought them over, and she was like, "These are awesome. I'm gonna try." And I really want to make them. And I was like, "Yeah, I used this online recipe, and I made these changes." And she was like, "Yeah, okay." I think I mentioned this last week, that she made those changes, and like they were all changes that were going to completely fuck up the recipe. And so her recipe was fucked, and I was like, okay, girly pop, you can't do that. So I made the recipe again with dairy this time, and she was like, ah, okay, that's how it's done. And I'm like, yeah, you can't not, like, if a recipe is calling for brown sugar, what you have to understand with brown sugar is it's not raw sugar. Brown sugar and raw sugar are two very different things, because raw sugar is just unprocessed sugar granules. Brown sugar has molasses in it. So when you combine brown sugar with a liquid, you get more liquid. Yeah, sugar with molasses. So you get more liquid volume by adding brown sugar to a like hot liquid than what you would white sugar, because there's more, like, molasses is a liquid. So you have more liquid per volume in the recipe, so it becomes a wetter batter. She subbed out all the brown sugar with white. I was like, you can't do that. And then she's like, oh yeah, use self-raising flour. And it's like, when a recipe is like, hey, use plain flour and baking powder and baking soda, it means that the ratios of self-raising flour are different to what they're calling for in the recipe. So you can't sub in self-raising flour. If you could use self-raising flour, they would be like, use self-raising flour, because they put that in the recipe notes. The thing is that with self-raising flour is you can't control the ratio of baking powder to your flour ratio. So if a recipe is like, don't molasses, yes, it does look like petroleum. I believe it is a concentrated sugar. I think it's a residual production of beer, I believe. Some kinds of beer. Let me look it up. I'll do the Google. Okay, so it is, not ignoring the AI one. Viscous byproduct principally obtained from the refining of sugarcane or sugar beet juice into sugar. So it is a byproduct. It is a byproduct of refinement of sugar. So it's more sugar. Sugarcane molasses is usually used to sweeten and flavor foods. Molasses is a major constituent in the commercial of brown sugar. Also, it was one of the most famous flooding disasters in Boston. It was in Boston? Boston, was it Boston, the molasses flood? The Great Boston Molasses Flood of 1919. It killed over 100 people, I think. No, killed 11? Hang on. 11 dead. Okay. Didn't kill over 100 people. 11 dead, injured, 50 injured. So, 11 people died in treacle, which is not great. It would be a very horrible way to go because it's very sticky. As a person that lives in and around the Caribbean, I've smelled a lot of distilleries and have tasted a lot of molasses. Yeah, fair enough. That doesn't sound healthy. No, probably not. Probably not. Yeah, it was a really hot day and all of the silos that were containing molasses in Boston burst open. Well, one big one, I think it was. And it flooded the streets. And they say in certain places in Boston, you can still smell molasses. Molasses has like a if I were to make a comparison in terms of like sugar versus molasses, right? Like white sugar versus molasses, I would make the comparison to tea versus coffee, right? Molasses has a lot of bitter notes. It's a bit thicker. It's generally used for like stickier and like cookies, ginger snaps. So yeah, it is a commonly an ingredient in cookies. Like you can use honey for some of these, but honey has a very particular flavor, whereas molasses, you're like trying to achieve a different flavor. In Australia, we don't really use a lot of molasses, but what we do use is, an ingredient called golden syrup. Let me just double check what golden syrup is made of. I think is syrup. Oh, I forget P throws presents at me. So it is a light treacle. So, whereas molasses is... So it's like molasses, but it's like the lighter version of it. So comparative, like it is just molasses, but not as thick or dense. So we use golden syrup instead of molasses in Australia because I don't know. I think it's just we don't tend to refine it that hard, so it becomes molasses. Molasses is kind of good when you feel a bit sick and can be used in remedies to replace a bit of honey. It just doesn't taste that great. Yeah, it's got a lot of bitter notes. Golden syrup, on the other hand, doesn't tend to get as bitter. We use it in Anzac biscuits in Australia. So Anzac biscuits are a hearty and long-lasting biscuit because they don't use any dairy products and they don't use eggs. So the primary ingredients in Anzac biscuits is like flour, oats, and golden syrup. And it is a proprietary recipe. So like everyone who is making Anzac biscuits should be using this same recipe because most people, when they buy an Anzac biscuit, are expecting it to last a decent amount of time because it was designed to be sent to the Anzacs. While they were fighting in Gallipoli and everything. Grew up with molasses on toast as a common snack. Lol. Yeah, the really dark gooey brown shit that we smear on toast in Australia is yeast spread, Vegemite, and that's not molasses. Do not get that. They kind of look a little similar in color, not in consistency, but in color, and you should definitely not get those two confused. Definitely do not. They're also byproducts. They're like siblings. Molasses and Vegemite are like siblings, but they don't get along. They're not friends. They're siblings, but they're not friends. Do not get them confused. Besides the cookie making, there are a couple of... I was working on the game for my debut. I didn't get very far. I ran into some hurdles and then I started feeling sick. I haven't been sleeping very well. I think it's because I've been getting sick that I've been sleeping like shit. I think I laid down at some point earlier today And I was like, okay, I'm tired. I'm ready to go to sleep. And it still took me about an hour. Have I watched Over the Garden Wall? It is on my to-do list. I have seen probably the entire movie through GIFs on Tumblr, but I have not seen the movie. It is a movie that I intend to watch. It's just one that getting hold of movies these days is actually quite hard. There's quite a few movies that I'd like to sit down and actually watch, but I just don't have the streaming services because it's a series. It is? I thought Over the Garden Wall was is it like a 10 episode series? Short run series, yeah. Sorry. I'm gonna nibble on my nose. Where's my mute button? There. There? Here? Yeah, okay. I'm okay. I feel like coming onto stream a day after I started getting sick is pretty ballsy of me. Usually if I get sick, I don't do it the second day. But it's in Spanish. Yeah, I would rather watch it. I'm pretty sure it's native English. Last night when I was trying to sleep, I felt like I was suffocating, so I stayed up until midnight. Oh, yeah. When you're like laying there and it feels like I felt like I had razor blades in my throat, and I was like laying there, and I that was after taking painkillers. I was like laying there, and like I'd be laying there suffering, and then the Resident Evil spoiler would come back into my head. I'm like, ah! And then like for longer. I think it's on Hulu, but American, so I know region lock. Yeah, this is the thing is like Crunchyroll, for example, has about 300. Like keep in mind they've got like less than 1,000 titles on Crunchyroll. They've got 300 less on the Australian version of Crunchyroll compared to the American. They've got 400 on the Australian, 700 on the American version. So I'm sure that I could find it. It's just like my priority, like I would like to give, this is the thing about some films, right? There's some, like at the moment, I was like, I feel like shit, I'm just gonna go watch some TV, and I'm probably like, you know what, this is probably not the TV show that's appropriate for really watching when you're already like stuffy and feeling like crap. Something must be hard to flip. Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. But like I was like, I just want to watch something that's like I don't have to think about. Like I don't want to use, because with stuff like Over the Garden Wall, Constantine, which is also on my list, there's a few other ones that I would like to watch, but like I want to watch it as like from the frame of a creator, right? I want to watch it from the mindset of like, this is art and I want to digest it as art, and like I'm not like, I don't know, does anybody, like if you're going to the art museum, right, like you're gonna mentally prepare yourself to go and like get into analysis mode. And I was just like, so a lot of stuff I put off because I'm like, okay, I need to be ready to do, try not to scream, your voice is, it'll happen, it's gonna happen. This is, I can't, what do you want me to do, man? I'm on the stream. I think I need to blow my nose again. You're gonna have to bear with me. But yeah, I was just like, Over the Garden Wall and a few other ones like I want to watch when I'm like, Constantine 2 is in production. Neat. I haven't seen the first one because I want to go into it with analysis mode on. I want to think about it. And then there's other ones where it's like, I know that this is going to either scare me, like this is probably going to scare me. So like, I need to brace myself. Like I want to watch Abigail, for example. And I want to watch Sinners. So they're films that are like, I know I'm probably going to enjoy, but I need to have a certain mindset to do it. So the TV show I've been watching while I've been down with the sickness, as they put it, as the kids say, hello fellow kids, down with the sickness, is Cold Case. So Cold Case is a very old TV show at this point. I believe it starts the year that was running. So they're like the TV show is telling me it was 2003. Like I remember watching this as a kid. So it'd come on at like, you know, 8:30-ish at night, and like it was starting to get to a point where it was like too late for me to really watch. But like I think I've mentioned several times that I'm not just like a adult insomniac, I'm a chronic insomniac. I've always been shit at sleeping. This is not a new development. This is not a sudden development. This is my whole life I have been a shit sleeper, and it's just like I remember being up till 3, 4, 5 a.m. when I was like 4, 5, 6 years old, you know? So it's not just a sudden thing. And so sometimes I would, since I've been sick, I've been watching Criminal Minds. The crime shows are really good watching when you're sick. That said, Cold Case is actually not really a good one, because so far I think I've cried at every episode. I've cried at every episode, which is not great. I've watched 7 episodes and I think I've cried on every single one. Because it's like I'm watching, because if you're not familiar with Cold Case, chat, it's a cop show, but the emphasis is like this is a detective who, like, she gets a tip off from like the first episode is she gets like a tip off for a case that was in like 83 or something, like 20 years before the start of the show starts in 2003. So it's a 20-year-old cold case, and she goes and she investigates it, and like this sort of becomes her calling. As a result, people start coming to her to go, hey, I have got this tip off of this old case, can you look into it? Because that's what you do, right? So like that's the whole basis of Criminal Minds is sorry, I'm just having a moment of like the detective that's partnered with her in the first few episodes and eventually moves on because I think he didn't want to continue no, he wouldn't have moved on 3 episodes in. I think they wanted to like just have him on as like a reference point, and then they bring in the main character. It is annoying having insomnia. It is very annoying. He's in Grey's Anatomy, I think. So that's where I keep looking at a lot of the characters, like a lot of the actors in this, even the one-shot actors. Like I think so the first episode is about a girl named Jill. She was killed at a party when she was a teenager. And nobody ever found out who did it. And I think she's the actor who plays Sydney in No, she's not. Okay. I don't know who her actor is, but I recognize her, and I don't, like, I would have to get a photo up on stream. Thank you for the head pat. But a lot of the actors I'm seeing come through, like, it's like a best of actors, like, casually strolling through, but I feel like all of the TV shows back then are like that. And then, like, I'm watching who produced the show, and is Jerry Bruckheimer, and I'm hearing all of these licensed, like, 80s music, and I'm like, oh, I guess they got the licenses back at this point, and, like, we're able to use them again for, like, stuff like Supernatural, because I think Supernatural started its run not too long after this, or sort of, like, I think Supernatural started in 2005. I think. I don't know. I know it might be. No, I think it was later than that. When did Supernatural start? When did Supernatural stop? Stop throwing presents at me. Oh, 2005. I was dead on. My TV always shows the old episodes of Criminal Minds. Oh, thank you. A week before last week, I was watching season 2, episode 14 of 15 of Criminal Minds. I was tweaking because my favorite character got kidnapped. Damn. Yeah. Criminal Minds is interesting. I haven't watched a lot of it. I've watched some of it. I think a lot of people got really into, I mean, crime dramas are just, I didn't like the like dedicated cop ones, but I did like the ones that had like more of emotional storyline. Emotional storytelling. Sorry. Like I said, you're gonna bear with me today. You just gotta bear with me. Oh no. I don't have poetry prepared. I forgot that I didn't do preparation for that. Hopefully it's fine. Hopefully it's fine. No, I haven't actually checked with everybody whether or not we could do PO today. Because I've been sick. I'm sorry. Oh no, the yawning has stopped. I stopped watching when Matthew Gray grew blow. Yep, and I know exactly who that is, and I completely and utterly understand. I know what you mean. See, Bones wasn't in, like, I really got into Bones, right? Like, I actually have the books, like, the Kathy Reich's books, that the Bone, like, are meant to be written by Temperance Brendan in the TV show. So I actually have the book, so I got really deep into Bones for a little bit. Bones is interesting because, like, a character I really quite liked. Maybe I shouldn't spoil that for, if you're gonna watch Bones, Bones goes in some fun directions. So I actually highly recommend watching Bones. And to think we're getting older each year and other people marrying, having failed in life, and again I don't worry about kids dying of starvation. Using that as a metric of success or failure is like just, who cares? Honestly. I'm alive. Did I think I was gonna be alive at this age 10 years ago? No. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Not even, that wasn't even in the back of my mind. At this age 10 years ago, I was 100% certain I wouldn't be here. So I'm here. Is that a success? I mean, petrol is through the roof and things are still going on, but I'm alive. I'm getting to enjoy video games. I'm getting to hang out to stream. Things are okay. I mean, they're not awesome, but they're okay. So, and I'm here. I'm still doing things. Living. And that's the only metric I need. I think holding yourself to any kind of other people, like, this is, I have a hard time with it too, man. I have a hard time holding myself to a fair and constant standard, because it's like I see the capabilities of other people around me and I'm like, why aren't I there? But I have to be mindful of where I came from. So I think watching Criminal Minds has desensitized me because someone showed me a dead body and I didn't even flinch. It was a photo. Ew. See, I would still flinch. I would still flinch. A lot of people who say this aren't they just say it for the sake of the clout. They're like, oh, yeah. I am actually an empath, which is part of the reason that I find watching horror and watching why I'm crying through every episode of Cold Case, and why I have a hard time watching horror stuff. Like, I feel their emotions as my own. Like, I relate it to so strongly that it's like I feel that level of being crushed, you know? So I would still flinch if I saw a dead body. For sure. I don't want to see that sort of stuff. I thankfully during the period of time in high school where everybody was doing the 50-50 challenge, I didn't get into that. Thank fuck for that. Don't do that. Don't do that challenge. No. I did watch Markiplier do it, but he blurred it, so I didn't have to experience anything. I got to experience a very blurry broken foot, and that was too much. Yeah, like, I have a wife and kid, and that's because what my wife and I wanted, but I don't feel like I've accomplished as much as I want. Like, I'm not the voice actor I've always wanted to be. I haven't gotten as good as art as I want, but I'm still kicking and moving forward. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, having a wife and kids isn't the be-all in it. Like, it's a fantastic achievement. Like, when I'm, like, don't get me wrong. Having a family is a fantastic achievement, especially if you want that family, right? What's the 50-50 challenge? So it was a Reddit, I believe it was a Reddit thing, where you would click a link, and the link had a 50% chance of being something really good or something horrific. So, like, it would be 50-50 challenge, and it would have a tag of, like, safe for work or not safe for life. So you'd get, like, a good example is a bundle of sleeping puppies, or mangled foot after motorbike accident. The link that I think swapped every few seconds, and you had a chance of seeing something nice or something horrible. Yeah. So it was a true 50-50 challenge. You had a 50% chance either way of seeing something good or something horrible. Yeah, no, on the not safe for life, precisely. But like, this is what people were doing. So a lot of millennials actually genuinely have seen really horrible things that they probably never should have seen. Because they were doing the 50-50 challenge. Like, oh, you gotta do the 50-50. Yeah, of course it's Reddit. Reddit. Yeah, of course it's Reddit. Of course it's Reddit. Where else would you see? I mean, it could also be 4chan, but like, I'm pretty sure it was just Reddit. I think it was a Reddit thing. But yeah, it wasn't great. Seeing what I saw on the internet didn't make me desensitive. It made me more sensitive. Yeah, that's the thing, is like, I'm already sensitive enough, and I feel like I'm watching Cold Case, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, oh, this explains a lot, because it was one of the TV shows that I watched as a kid, and it's very sympathetic. It's a very sympathetic show to a lot of topics, and especially like the plight of marginalized people. For a 2003 show, you like, with the current social and political climate, you couldn't run Cold Case now. What is the 50-50 challenge? You could read chat, but it is 50-50. You be horrible or good. 50-50 horrible or good. Where I'll suppress my own feelings but see others get hurt makes me feel so awful. Yeah. I don't want to see people hurt, man. I can't. Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to see other people hurt. Like, even in video games, it's like, I don't want to pick the nasty choices. That'd be mean. I want to see good outcomes. I'm not playing video games. Like, the only time I do horrible things is when I'm writing. But that's because the suffering of people who read my content gives me life and joy. But like, it's like BDSM. It's like, it's safe, it's sane, it's consensual. I'm putting characters that I made in horrible agony, or characters that I have borrowed in fanfiction. My feelings die because of human interactions. I understand, I don't feel a thing. I can't relate. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, I can't relate. As much as like I have wanted to at some times, because like I'll get a phone call from the occult, from my colleagues at the occult place, and they're like, hey, we don't know how to handle this. We've just had somebody hit by a car, and like I'm like, I don't know how to handle that actually. I will do what I can and I will get you the people you need, but I'm not, you know, I'm still gonna feel real bad about it. And watching disturbing horror as a way to control my own suffering. Yeah. Saw something in my younger years, like Faces of Death. Don't look that up. Yeah, don't look up Faces of Death. Can't do it anymore. This is the thing, is like sometimes, yeah, I just, Faces of Death, like I never looked into that, but just knowing about the Gmod, I'm gonna tell you about, like, you may not know this, some of you will know this, some of you won't know this. Gmod, the source engine, Half-Life, I'm pretty sure Half-Life 2 specifically, there is a texture used on one of the bodies that's found in the sewer section. Yep, the burnt corpse. Yep, the burnt corpse. So there is a very particular texture and it's very realistic, and this is something I pointed out in the source, like because Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, the original, was also built in source. There are a lot of textures that are like real shit. There are a lot of them that look real bad, but some of them look very realistic. And the reason they look very realistic is because the developers behind the source engine were using medical textbooks. It's not, it is rare, like to see dead bodies is very rare in other countries, but also using actual textures from actual bodies in video games is not only rare, it's generally frowned upon. The developers who worked on Dead Space had to look at a lot of actual gore to get the game looking the way that the game does, especially like the original version of Dead Space, to a point that a lot of them actually had to go to therapy because they saw things that they couldn't get out of their heads. I've seen people get shot and burned in my country all the time. That I understand, like, that is unfortunately not the case. Well, I mean, fortunately, in like my country and in America's, I believe, we don't see that on a daily basis. I have never seen a dead body in real life. Thankfully. I think there was a CSI or similar game that got sued because it used a real person's case photo. Yep. And this is the thing, is like, which is, it's really interesting, right? Because we've kind of come to a point where like AI keeps trying to argue that like, oh, we can use whatever, right? Whereas in the early 2000s to the mid 2000s, there was a whole lot of pushback about them like using medical text, like even public domain medical works and stuff like that, using them in video games, because it's like, well, this is still people's likenesses. And especially since the juxtaposition of the capabilities of the graphics at the time versus what was actually appearing, like these likenesses, it made them very noticeable. So I have once, and that was one time too many. Yeah, I can say that like most people in quote unquote first world countries will not have seen a dead body in their lives, and if they have, it's probably a loved one at a funeral. Yeah, it wasn't against the rules. No, it wasn't against the rules, but it was generally frowned upon. Like people were like, this is a bit weird. This is a bit weird. Also, that said, the Gmod corpse, I don't believe was from an actual medical textbook, or if it was from one that wasn't really common, because apparently it was a mafia guy. It does have a lot, yes. But okay. I have seen discussions of people talking about it where they're like, I weren't comfortable with the practice. No, I recall it from that time. Ugh. But that's okay. There was a car crash outside my neighborhood for some reason. They took the guy out of the car. He was unconscious and it made my skin crawl since I got in a car crash in January. Yeah. I've been in one major car crash in my life. Major being like in quotes. I wasn't hurt. But we're going over a hill and it was a blind hill. So like you were going straight up. And it was a hill that had a turn off right in the middle of it. My sister had the incorrect brake pads on the car that weren't fitted properly. And so when she hit the brakes of the car, it didn't stop in time. So like we were going the speed limit over that hill. But the car had been stopped and she hit it in the ass. If the front panel of the car like crunched forward, we could barely get the doors open on the car, but we were not hurt. We had a bit of whiplash. I think we had a little bit of like very mild whiplash, but we weren't like genuinely hurt. But if we'd been going 5 kilometers faster, we probably would have been badly hurt. So I got very lucky with that one particular incident. But that's really the only major one I've been in a car. I came off my motorbike a couple of years before that, and like broke my elbow. Well, fractured my elbow. I had a hairline fracture in my elbow from like I put my hand out to. Don't do this. Like, I probably shouldn't have done this, but like, it's just instinct. I put my hand out to like, grab myself as I was coming off the bike. And the impact of my hand hitting the asphalt traveled all the way up my arm and fractured my elbow. So like, I didn't have a broken wrist. I didn't have a broken hand. I didn't have a broken, like my forearm wasn't broken, but I did hairline fracture my elbow. So the moral of the story is drink your milk. Drink your milk. Maybe your bones will only fracture when you get the full force of coming off your motorbike, going up your arm. All you get is a fracture in your elbow. I think I got very lucky with that particular incident. It took a couple of years to fully come back to being really like fully normal. If you've never had an injury to your elbow, basically when you can like have your hand out like level, like a level in front of you, like put your arm out in front and then you bend your elbow, and like bending my elbow was fine, It's the process of like, so like if you had your knuckles facing up towards the sky and then you don't move your arm, but like you turn your hand over so like your palm starts facing upwards, that motion of like turning, that's what was fucked. I couldn't do that, and you'd be surprised at just how frequent you do that motion in a day. But I couldn't do that motion. It was agony. Agony. And I had to try and sleep with my arm like that. I need to blow my nose again. 1 second. I'm sending messages that I should have been sending hours ago because I didn't, and I have forgive me for I have sinned by becoming unwell on a stream week night. Did I? When was that done? Monday? Yes. I had people come over to inspect my roof. You know, my roof that I've been talking about for ages, about how I've got like a pigeon problem? How dare you get sick, Lodge. Yeah, you know my pigeon problem that I've been talking about for ages? I had somebody come over to inspect my roof. It's worse than they thought. It's worse than I thought. It's worse than anyone could have anticipated. Every single gutter is choked. My gutters would probably be like one of the safe for work horrible things you get on a Reddit 50-50. It's not good. It's not. It's bad. It's not good up there. It's real bad. It's not good. It's terrible, in fact. To a point where like the people who were doing it quoted me, came over, was like, "Hey man, shit's fucked." Literally. The cleaning is gonna like require an extra $300. I was like, yep, fair, because they showed me photos. And this is the thing, it's every building, not just mine, not just my neighbors, not just my other neighbors, every single building. These houses are 5 years old. This is a fire hazard. It's a disease hazard. There's maggots up there. Okay? Shit's fucked. But I am getting my building cleaned tomorrow. So hopefully my problems ease up somewhat. No, thank you. Thank you for the head pat. I've been getting a little bit of personal joy and a little bit of like personal, you know, making myself feel a little bit better. By turning my hose to like the jet, because I got like one of those hose gun attachments. Like you got mist which gives you a mist of water, and then you got shower, which gives you like a general a nice spritz. And then you got like flat, which gives you a flat thing of water where you can do like other things. But one of them's jet, and jet is almost pressure washer. It's not a pressure washer, but it's like, it feels like you're using a pressure washer, right? You can use it to clean your concrete, clean your wall of bird shit, which I did some of. I was a bit nervous about it flying into my neighbor's yard, so I didn't do all of it. But I turn that hose onto jet sometimes when I see the pigeons on the ledge of my roof, and I see them up there, and I turn my hose to jet and I spray them, and it makes me feel better. Just like for a couple of seconds. It's like just for a couple of seconds, I'm spraying water on these birds and watching them fly away and go bother somebody else, and it makes me feel better. It's like, goodbye, my problem. Like, I know there's still more of you up there, but like, you are no longer my problem for the next like 5 minutes where I can't see you. It's like, the problem's still there, but I can't see it, so goodbye. If you hear me do that particular sigh you just heard me do, that is me remembering the Resident Evil 9 spoiler. Oh! I know I've been talking for an hour, I'm sorry, but I didn't talk yesterday. So, I have picked up a capture card. I do have a capture card, so the capture card's on its way. Yeah. So, capture card is on its way, but I did make a personal account, so I can't show this account to you guys. It's with my regular personal name that I use on like my past life name internet thing. But I made
water and water and water, water, 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 water and water and water.
Thank you. So they haven't released Duelim in Australia yet. I can't access it. But I decided, because I don't use payments on the Apple account that I use elsewhere. So I have two Apple accounts. One actually I use for payments. It has like extra storage for my phone, for like Apple iCloud. I have a member subscription to Markiplier and a few other things. So I couldn't do it on that. But this one, I don't have any payments set up. So because I don't have any payments set up, I could change my region. So I just went in and I changed my region to the United Kingdom. And then I was able to get Duelim. So, Dissidia Duelim. Let's talk Dissidia Duelim, since I have not received a response yet. How did you not get it? You and UK are pretty much buddies. Square Enix forgets that Australia exists. We did not get an available, feels like the middle child, kind of. We did not get a Square Enix store that Australia could actually buy stuff off of, like at all. We could not buy off of like the UK store, the American store, any of the stores. We did not get an Australian Square Enix store to buy things from until November of last year. We got a Final Fantasy XIV server before we got a Square Enix store. Third world country beat you guys first. Exactly, that's why I say that Square Enix forgets we exist. Which is weird, because at one point, they let us beta test Missing Link. Which was cool. I got to beta test, I got to play a game that a lot of people never will end up playing. Yeah, something weird happened. They only tested it in Europe and Australia, which was interesting. And all of the Americans were fucking fuming. They were fuming. And I just sat there going, I get to play it for once. Ah! And then they came up with an American closed beta. They have to translate everything to upside down, and sometimes some of the code isn't locked and it falls out. No. Yeah, let us enjoy it. Like, let me play the game. I don't know why. It might be on the App Store now. I will lose tracking if I check. Are you guys okay with a little bit of like breaking? Oh, you're getting an ad break anyway. Do you mind me breaking immersion for a second to check if Duelim is on the App Store yet on my main phone? Because I checked last night and it wasn't there. Gotta upload yourself to the cloud for a second. Yeah, give me loading. Oh no, your immersion. Oh no. Speaking of immersion, if I do play Duelim on the channel, it will be with a PNG tuber because I can't. It's not. It's still not there. All right, let's go back to tracking, please. There we go. It's still not there. I still can't. I still can't legitimately play Duelim in Australia. I had to be sneaky. But Dissidia Duelim, what do we think of Dissidia Duelim? Will I be playing it on the channel? Probably. I am going to have the means to. You were the meme with the dead eye stare while remembering the spoil. Nah. Anyway, moving on. Dissidia Duelim. Dissidia Duelim. Interesting. I did see a lot of people on Reddit speaking about how it, like, a lot of people like, oh, this feels lifeless, blah, 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 blah. I don't think Dissidia Duelim plays badly. I do not think it is a bad game in terms of its, like, actual gameplay design. Because in a lot of respects, it really resembles, to me, Crystalline Conflict in Final Fantasy XIV. And now, before you go... That is my main basis for PvP. I am not a PvP player in general. I don't generally go out of my way to play PvP. Yes, there is an ad break playing. I could go to the bathroom, but I'm going to talk anyway. So, I believe it is also the same sort of format that kind of exists in stuff like Deadlock and Overwatch, which is like a capture the flag style team-based combat, where like you're trying to capture nodes on the map, but you're also trying to fight enemy units, which is fine. It's a fine format. It plays okay. Like, the characters seem to have pretty interesting abilities. I feel like there's going to be some adjustments to characters ongoing, especially at this very beginning, and especially since the roster is so small. Part of what made Opera Omnia like interesting in terms of its balance was like you had a lot of characters that were completely unviable and a lot of characters that were absolutely overpowered broken machines. And that was because there was just so many of them that it was hard to test every kind of format going into a boss fight. So some boss fights they probably didn't test with a particular format of characters because they just didn't have time. You had over 100 characters and a party of 3. So when you think of like how many times 3 can go into 100, but then keep in mind that like not only that, you had, if you're playing co-op, you could have 3 of the same character in your party. So it's not even just individual units, you could have double ups or triple ups. There were many instances, especially during, like, there was a Squall-centric event, which was very, very funny. Very, very funny. It was called Whatever. And I loved it. It was so funny. All the, like, like all of the gold rewards and the EXP rewards were like Squall's student ID, and like it was a whole bunch of Final Fantasy VIII references. It was fantastic. But with that particular event, there were many times where I'd go in to do that particular event, and my co-op party would just be 3 Squalls, because obviously I was showing up with Squall in these co-op events. But so was everybody else. It was fine, but it was fine. Everybody was showing up with their favorite character, and in this instance, everybody was showing up with Squall because that was what was appropriate. So you think of it that way, where you could have so many different formulations of characters going into these boss fights, and it was inevitable that some characters were going to be super mega busted and some characters were going to be like fucking shit. It was just how it was going to be. With Duelim, they're going to have to try and keep every single character viable. That's just gonna have to be how it is in Duelim, because the roster is so small. You have a grand total of, how many are in the starting roster? It's 8, I think. You got Warrior of Light, Kane, Kryl, Terra, Cloud, Renoa, Zidane, Lightning, Eight. Petra, you Squall? No way, lol. Petra may have spent a little too much on Squall. Petra may be looking at this particular Duelim game and going, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. See, okay, here's the thing though. Here's the good thing. I don't currently have a gacha sync. I don't have one at all. I don't have any game that I play on my phone. I don't have anything that I'm rolling the dice. I don't even buy lottery tickets. So if I spend a couple of bucks here and there, making sure I have character tickets to get my boy when he releases, because we'll release him. He's coming eventually. Oh well! Hi, Chisada Amerigo, and welcome! Welcome! We're currently in just chatting. I'm not sure if we're going to actually be playing Path of Exile tonight. Let me check my Discord. I don't think the people who I was going to play it with are available, which is okay. I didn't check whether or not people were available, and I'm sick, so I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to handle it. But in terms of Duelim, I'm giving a little bit of a Duelim review before we play it on the channel, because I am going to play it on the channel. Grimble, we're waiting for a response, right? Yes. Somehow I think he's in bed. Or he might be busy. But I think he's in bed. Which is fine. There's no problem with him being in bed. He probably, with the fact that I cancelled stream last night, was probably like, there's no way Petra is going to go call in sick for the first stream of the week and then show up for the second one when they only started getting sick the day before. But I am sick as fuck. Peace. See, this is the thing with my model that's coming in May. I can actually do stupid hand gestures. Like, I'm doing stupid hand gestures right now, and you can't see them. But in May, you'll be able to see my stupid hand gestures. Not all of them. The tracking's not fantastic. The tracking's okay, but it's not like, you know, super precise. But you'll be able to see some of my stupid hand gestures. Alright. So, the City of Duelim. It is interesting. So, you start off, you get to pick from one of 4 characters. You know what, Petra is going to stream sick. Yes, she is. Yes, I am. So you get to pick from you play as Cloud first, because they're like, okay, we're just gonna open up with, they're like, everybody knows who Cloud is, right? Everybody who knows Final Fantasy knows who Cloud is, right? Right? So they're like, okay, you play as Cloud first. You play as Cloud, you show up, there's Sephiroth, oh fuck, it's Sephiroth, you show up, you meet the Warrior of Light, Lightning, and Terra. And they're like, hey man, what's up? Welcome to Shibuya. And he's like, huh? Okay. And then you fight a behemoth in the middle of Shibuya, because what's happening is these crystals are showing up and they kind of suck people's life force out and turn them into statues for a bit. And then you can return it to them if you manage to purify the crystal and defeat the monster. So you're running around. These other people have already been here for a little while. Oh, I forgot Gaia. Gaia is also in the roster. Gaia and Prompto, so there's 10 total. So currently there are 10 total, and then there's 6 coming in the next batch. So bringing the total up to 16. So Gaia and Prompto were also there. But everybody is sort of hanging out in Tokyo, Shibuya. They're all sort of trying to blend in and have like normal-ish lives. They haven't been there for particularly long. So what their time has mostly been occupied with is dealing with these like spawns of crystals and then the monsters and sort of stuff. And they've been kind of like living in their base, which we haven't seen. Like I haven't seen. I'm not sure if it shows up. They're mostly showing like Tokyo locations. But they've been sort of hanging out, trying to figure out what's going on first, before sort of really committing themselves to integration. So for example, Terra is only just starting to go to school. I think so is Kryl, but like Renoa wasn't at school yet. And then Renoa's been trying to convince Gaia, hey, like, let's go to school. And Gaia's like, fuck no, I'm not doing that. You can't make me do that. Not that I think Gaia has ever been to a regular school in her life. But you know, I understand not wanting to go, fuck that. So they're like sort of starting to get this integration going. The story is told between 2 different formats. You have cutscenes where you actually see the characters interact properly. These are all fully voiced. And then you also have text message conversations, which kind of like close to format in like a line chat. So it's like Line, but they call it Fine. But the line chat that they have is called Fine Chat. So that's, I mean, okay. So it's like, oh, it's fine, you know, for like Final Fantasy. It's stupid, but like I respect it. I respect the stupid. Also, at some point, someone has gone through and made emoji of all the every character. So every character has like 5 emoji each of themselves, and they use their own in the chat, which is very funny because it's like, 1, who made it? 2, they're just using their own. I would be using other people's to make fun of them, but you know, like, it is what it is. That's the main story part. So the way you get access to the story is by just playing the game. So in order to get access to seeing any of these cutscenes, is you have a season pass track. If you're not familiar with season pass tracks in most, I'm gonna have to turn the fan on because like it's that. So if you're not familiar with season pass tracks in video games, in gachas, they're like, oh, you progress, you do this much in a particular task, and you unlock like currency to spend on things. Hi, No Name Myth, welcome. I'm having a bit of a discussion about what I think about the city of Dulam. So you have a season pass track. You see, as you progress and you purify more crystals by doing the actual gameplay sections, you get to progress through the season pass track. It has both a paid and an unpaid tier. You do get characters from both So like, but you just will get one less outfit. So the current season pass includes all 4 of the starting characters you could have chosen from. So that's Lightning, Cloud, Terra, and Warrior of Light. With Petra's all spending. Look, Squall's not in it. So as long as Squall's not in batch 3, I'm okay for now. Because what I'm planning to do is play on the free track for as long as possible. Not yet, yeah, I know. I'm gonna try and play for free for as long as possible, and then to build up my resources so I can get Squall. The problem is, your draws are divided into 2 categories. You have the ability draw and you have the character draw. The character draw is purely, once you have a character, you can use the character in full. Every other time that you will get the character, it will be an outfit instead. So clearly, like, there are only currently 10 characters in the game, and there's only going to be 16 characters for at least the next, I would assume, for the next 6 months. Probably, like, it might be shorter than that. The next batch might be shorter than that because they have already shown us the designs of the characters they're about to release. But I don't know how long, like, what their turnover is, because these are bespoke models. This is the thing with Opera Omnia, is they could have a character release every couple of weeks for a while, because the models were all on a template using the exact same rig. They had the exact same animations for, like, during, like, cutscenes and stuff. The only thing that they had bespoke was their actual combat animation, which was pretty limited. So whereas Duelim, with its smaller cast, has bespoke animations, bespoke models, bespoke abilities, like the whole shebang right off the bat. So a new character release and a new character batch is a big undertaking, which is a little concerning to me, which is probably why the current format it's been given is very pay to win oriented. So you get characters and blah blah blah. Every character has 4 dedicated them only abilities. So for example, Renoa starts off with Frigid Rain, and then she has 3 other ones, which is Angel Wing, Meteor, and Aqua Pulse, or something. I think it's like Aqua Push or something like that. So Frigid Rain is a cone AoE which does a lot of damage, which is great. You have Aqua Push, which pushes opponents away, which is really useful because she's ranged. She doesn't have a lot of HP to work with and is not very good at hitting out of a like head-on combat situation. She's going to really struggle. I can tell because I've been really struggling because every time somebody gets up in my face, I'm basically dead. And then Angel Wing gives like her a massive like brave boost and damage boost, and then Meteor is a massive like circular AoE which does a whole lot of damage. You have to sorry, any newcomers, I'm sick, so I'm sorry. Thank you for the head pat. You have to draw for these. All abilities, you have to draw for. And when I say all of them, I mean all of them. You start out, when you get a character, you get one of their base kit, and that's it. And it's always the rare. So like it comes in, there's currently 4 tiers. So you have normals, rares, super rares, and ultra rares. Ultra rare is the best ability that you can get, and then you have a super rare and then 2 rares on character abilities. You need all 4 to play a character viably. You're not leaving bronze if your character does not have all 4 abilities. Or if you do, you're not leaving bronze without doing ability draws. That's for fucking sure. because it is ranked, and it ranked goes from bronze, so bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and then like omega, I believe. Yep. So that's where the pay to win comes in, is like you are not leaving the earlier ranks without having more abilities. You can play casual, you can play the challenges. The challenges do expect you to be at higher ranks, so like they expect you to be playing at a higher tier of combat to get through all of the challenges. And you can only do challenges per character. So for example, hang on, let me get it open. Let me open. You're gonna hear some sweet Dissidia Duelim audio. The game's loading. The game can be put. Oh, I'm gonna get a login bonus. Hi Renoa. I'm doing it to see my baby girl. Rokumi sent me a gift. Go to your gift box to open it. Yes, give me that. Oh, you can receive gifts from people. Thank you. So you can give people other like draw tickets, which is quite nice. Daily. So you get daily login bonuses, which again, if you don't have the season pass, you don't get as many good rewards, which is cool. What was I looking at? My head's not fully here. I was looking at something. Does anyone remember what I was looking at? What was I looking at? Why did I actually open the game? Hang on. I'm gonna... Why did I open the game? Does anybody remember? There was something I was looking at though. Hello? I'm not fully here, guys. All I remember is Squall and that's it. Well, he's not here yet. That said, they have shown us Clive, I almost said Clive Strife then, but no, Clive Rossfield's outfit, the Final Fantasy 16 protagonist, and he's wearing a black jacket with a white v-neck shirt, fingerless gloves, a red belt, and a belt chain, and I looked at his outfit and I went, I like it, I appreciate it, but I think that is why Squall's not here. I think you motherfucker, are why Squall is not here at the moment, because it would have been too close. And they were like, we're gonna put 16 in. We're gonna put the main character of Final Fantasy. We released a game a couple of years ago. We gotta put it in. Like, we have to. And he's like, but we can't add Squall at the same time. Their outfits are too similar. And somebody in the team was like, if I can't have Squall, I'm having Gaia. Somebody had that. This is the question I've been asking, right? Final Fantasy 14. Final Fantasy 14 has a lot of characters people would consider, you know, the poster boy. Y'shtola has been the poster girl for Final Fantasy 14 for a long time. Like, if people, like, she was in Dissidia NT. She was the representative in Dissidia NT. She is a main scion. She is a character who participates with the party, can come in party missions with you, is part of your trust system. Y'shtola would be the logical pick if they were going to do it again. But if they were going to do it again, in general, you would think it would be a trust member, somebody who is actually part of your party. Alphinaud, Alize, Grahatia, Thancred, Oriange, Yustola, one of the main Scion picks. You could even pick, theoretically, Lise, one of the original Scions. And you'd be like, oh, why would you pick Lise? Well, here's the thing. The person that they picked has never been part of the party system. She was in she was in content you do not have to do. You would have no obligation to do the Shadowbringers side quests. Hang on, I'll bring the audio back. The Shadowbringer, like, I'm not saying you shouldn't, right? I think you should do the Shadowbringers side. I think you should do every quest in Shadowbringers because I'm a Final Fantasy VIII nut, and that's what the game is based on. Some people still don't know that. Shadowbringers was based on 8. It's the 8 expansion. That's why it's good. So you show up, but Gaia is from not only from side content, right? She's from side content. She is, to be fair, the only character in Final Fantasy XIV who was designed by Tetsuya Nomura. But Gaia is Squall and Ultimisha combined? So who in the pitch meeting was like, okay, we're gonna have representatives from all of the Final Fantasies. Okay, so who are we bringing in for 14? Grahatia, right? Yastrola. I think we should bring in Gaia. Gaia? Gaia. Gaia. Gaia? Gaia. And somebody went, yeah, let's bring in Gaia. Somebody okayed that. Somebody went, yeah, let's do it. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck anymore? We're gonna hit the end of the service after a year. I can barely think, okay. I'm fine. I'm fine. Anyway, I still don't remember what I opened the fucking phone for. Anyway, the ability draws are kind of annoying because they're so gated. They're such a gateway to the actually playing the game. Because in reality, if you want to have a good time playing a character, you want to have at least 3/4 of their kit. At least 3, because you have 5 abilities you can bring with you. 4 of them are character dedicated, 1 of them is whatever. You want to have at least 3 for a character to be viable. Well, look, I'm on bronze. Like, you start off in bronze 5. I'm in bronze 3 at the moment. So like, I have played maybe 15 fights, maybe 15, 12. I think it is. I've done 12 ranked matches, and I've lost maybe a third. So I've won 2/3. I've lost a third. But whenever I come up against characters that have like most of their kit present, that's when I'm getting completely fucking bodied. And I know that if I had Meteor and Angel Wing, I'd be bodying them. But thankfully, I don't have a wallet connected to this phone, so I can't spend money. And Square Enix didn't give me a phone, a means to play it on the phone that does have the wallet connected. So maybe that's for the best. But when Squall Leonhard appears in the game with his stupid, edgy, fucking modern fit, I am going to lose it. I'm going to be feral. I'm going to be unhinged. I'm going to be intolerable, lactose intolerant. For the entire, like, as soon as they're like, it's Squall, like, as soon as they show me some motherfucker, like, because they were doing, like, silhouettes, and everyone's like, oh, that's Clive, oh, that's Balthier, oh, that's Furion, blah, blah, blah. As soon as they show us a silhouette with the fucking fur collar, I'm going to be unpleasant to be around. Sounds like the only thing saving your wallet is the limitation of the phone wallet. Well, this is the thing, right? This is also part of why Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key got quite a bit of my money, is the season pass makes doing things faster. And it's not that expensive. Like, in fact, because it's the first season pass, it's like $2. It's $2. So like, I'm looking at it and going, $2? So I don't have to spend a whole fuck ton of my time fucking around? And I can build resources so I can save my resources for other characters? My time is valuable. But also, chat, there is a gifting ability. And it's with free currency, so all I have to do is I have to mobilize my chat to play Dissidia Duelum and then get them to gift all their gift stuff to me. It's a perfect plan. Flawless, in fact. You just build up gift currency. It doesn't affect your own currency. I just put that I'm a content creator / streamer onto my game tags. And you just give me things. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I actually play the game for real for you guys on stream. For one thing, I don't know what I'm gonna do for the PNG tuber. Stop. Yeah, give me your stuff. Give me all your gifts, all your gift tickets, all of your stuff, all your draw tickets. Give them to me. Give them to me, and I will spend them. I'll spend them wisely. I'll spend them correctly. I'll spend them on the only person that matters in this entire fucking roster of characters that isn't even there yet, but that's who I want to see. I want to see my boy. Also, I want to see the rest of the story. How many story? Hang on, I will open it one more time, and I'm only gonna be here for a minute. Okay. Give me a sec. All right, so how many story things do I have left in the season pass? I have 1, which is a fine conversation. 2, another fine conversation. 1 cutscene, so another fine conversation. So I have 3 cutscenes and 3 fine conversations. So it's not too bad. Like I said, I've done about 12 fights total. So, the increasing return is, I don't know. It doesn't actually tell me how much I need total to complete all of this, but I'm going to assume it's like maybe 30 fights, which, I mean, I technically should be doing like 30 fights a day in Crystalline Conflict on Final Fantasy XIV if I want the title that I want, which I'm not doing. So there's that, I guess. Anyway, I need to do some adjustments, so definitely asleep. Should I do Dino Crisis? Should I try Dino Crisis? Do I have the brain power for Dino Crisis? I could do the demo version of Final Fantasy VIII. Should I do a poll? We could do a poll. I also go to bed. I go watch more Cold Case. Do what makes me happy. I'm happy playing video games. I have to be up at 9 AM though. Or at least before 9 AM. Because I've got people coming over for the roof. But my plan before I got sick was just to stay up the whole time. Do sick, take care of yourself. I gotta take care of you guys too. Let me get open. Yeah, you know what? Okay, so let's update that. Oh, shush. Okay, no, I do not want to report my own stream. YouTube Studio. Live. Surely I have a thumbnail I can use. Surely. Surely I don't need to make a thumbnail. Surely I've done a Final Fantasy VIII thing that I can use. Can you guys report myself? What do you think YouTube would do? What do you think YouTube would do if I reported myself? Because it'd be like, I don't know. Okay, open. Oh, I did get, sub badges done for my debut, so there will be new sub badges when I debut. Yeah. FF8 any thumb. Okay. Yeah, okay. Alright, I got a thumbnail. Thankfully I had kept the file. Oop. Okay. Alright. That should be updated. Should be updated now? Okay. 8 minutes. I think it's this one. Oh, I don't have my controller plugged in. Fuck. During the, hang on. Actually, I shouldn't. Okay. Alright, let's go into gaming. Hello, everybody. Main game capture. Alright, so... what happens if I press this? Nothing. Nothing happens. What if I default boot? Does something happen? There we go. Hello. I assume there's audio? There is indeed audio. That may have been really loud, actually. I'm sorry if that was really loud. Yeah, a PlayStation! Alright. We ready, everybody? I'm ready. I'm ready. Hope you're ready. I'm ready. I haven't played this. Feel like a fossil seeing it. You are a fossil. We're both fossils. Most of my chat are fossils. Welcome back. I said the game, yeah. I don't know what this song is. It's an interesting choice. We are not fossils. Fossils. Alright. We're playing the demo. You gotta give it a minute. No need to start talking about... oh, yeah. No, there is no need for that. You're correct. Hang on. Source record, please. Thank you. X button to start the game. What is this archaeology? This is Final Fantasy VIII's demo. Oh, thank you. The Dolic Dukedom at war with Galbadia army have requested Garden to dispatch Seed, the world-renowned special team Seed from Garden. The high-speed vessels in which they ride are about to land in the Dolic Dukedom. Oh, I need to flip this. Shit. I'll flip it back in a bit. Sorry, it's gonna be backwards for a sec. You're just gonna have to enjoy this backwards. I'm enjoying it forwards. Oh. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yes, they are. I've had it done a couple of times, actually. I do really want my husband to look at me. Yes, correct. Hey, Cypher. The dialogue's immediately different! Holy shit! Hang on, I'll flip it back for you guys. No Quistis! So Cypher has to give us the orders. Cypher, what are the orders? We, the B Squad, are to secure the central square. How many enemies? Huh? A whole lot, obviously. With too few enemies, I'll die of boredom. To secure the central square, is that it? Enemy reinforcements are close by. That means more battles for us. Too bad for those who are scared. Who do you mean? Who knows? The central square. Come on. Okay, give me a menu. Menu? Menu? Okay. Okay. Is that the only menu I get? Really? I think that is the only menu I get. Because it being flipped won't get it copyright flagged. I had to dispute a copyright claim against Square Enix because they claimed the game. This game, that cutscene, enemies should be here. Who exactly are these enemies? Yo, are you serious? The Garbania army, of course. I like how they're... This is completely different! Don't worry about it, Squall. Anyone who gets in our way is the enemy. Here we go. Sounds are completely different. Shit. Who are we junction to, by the way? Oh, our HP is so low. Press the R1 button just as you strike. Oh. Cast was first? Boost? Boost? No boost. Interesting that Leviathan was the one they wanted to show off here. Also, I have no idea how long this demo is. Ooh. Thanks, Renoa. Discard? No other seed here? That's the pause menu, okay. So much of the sound effects are different. Hey, man. I think this goes all the way to the end, by the way. Like, this is the entire mission. Hey, man. Having fun, Squall? Yeah? I'm having a great time. The special team seed. Oh. That's the same. What magic do you have? One cure. Young boys and girls. They're from Garden? Okay. Oh. Mention a manga of vampires I probably like. It's called Noah of the Blood Sea. Interesting. Potions and Phoenix Downs, okay. Thank you for the potions. The Shining Bomber? No, no Shining Bomber for me. Central Square is up ahead. Come on, you Galbadia wimps. Show your faces. Don't bore me now. Is he serious? The enemy's nearby, huh? Yeah. Stay sharp, Squall. Well, why don't you check out the area for enemies? Look at this poor guy! He was hiding in the original. I was getting the shit beaten out of him because he had his back turned. Uh-oh. This is interesting. Usually I see people, like, I always did it attack magic GF draw, but usually I see, especially North American players do attack GF magic draw, which is interesting to see that it's done this way in the original demo. AKA, I'm correct, and everybody else is incorrect, which is the usual way of things when it comes to Final Fantasy VIII. I think they're gone. That was an unfortunate line read. My nose is stuffy. It seems that way. He's being distracted by the dog. Me too, man. Okay then, we'll wait for the enemy. Wait. What a boring word. Hey, doggy. Yeah, you go bother him. Uh-huh. Oh. Sounds like it's starting. Looks like this is for real now. Bring it on. Squall, check it out. The dog's licking Cypher. Get out of here! Shoo! Hey, Galbadia soldiers! What are you waiting for? Come to Papa! Interesting choice of words. Is it this angle? It is this angle. Okay. I was curious as to whether or not they'd use it in the demo. Oh, where are they? Hello, doggy. What the hell? Don't cause an earthquake. This is really boring. What's going on? Hey, Renoa. Renoa, ... Renoa has no lines, sorry. What's going on? Hey, Cypher. He's getting real pissed. You can't pet the dog in this game, no. Not this dog. Making us wait. I can't take this anymore! What is this kind of some kind of dog training? Ooh. Renoa's not supposed Renoa's not supposed to be here. No. She's not here in the original. So she has no lines. Off they go. Ristorante! In case you didn't know, Dollet is based on Italy. Hey, the enemy. Where the hell are they going? That's where we're going. That's against orders. Weren't you just complaining about how bored you were? Squall? I stand behind the squad leader's decision. Squad leader's decision? You must want to create some havoc too, huh? Yeah, it's a perfect chance to put our training to the test. They're not arguing about turning the dog into tacos or barbecue. Thanks to you, I feel like I can kick anyone's ass! I am print screening that one. That's good. That's so good. You just thank me when the time comes. Give me a break. You guys get along. You guys are buddies, man. Listen, this ain't just a battle. This ain't just a battle. This is a test, an important one. Let's not go off trying to do our own thing. Then you stay here. I don't need anyone who lacks interest. Huh? You want to go? Probably a lot more useful than a certain someone. Let's just take the dog and leave Zell here! What did you say? Don't take it seriously, Zell. He's just bullying you. So Cypher, if we're gonna go, let's hurry. The enemy's heading for the facility up in the mountains. We, the B squad, are to secure the summit. Let's move. Alright. Fuck. Okay. Final Fantasy. Give us the Final Fantasy director's cut where everybody's swearing! Hang on. Is there row damage? Why is he so far back? Then a break. Sea sword? What is that limit gauge? Faded circle? Continuous sword. So in Final Fantasy XIV, it's called continuation. Renzo Kuken just means continuous sword. Nostalgia is real. I mean, that's just different, man. That's just you don't have Faded Circle by this point in the game. I don't think it's even, I mean, oh hey, it got a adult soldier. What business do they have with the antenna now? I, as a child, used to play at that antenna facility. At the time, it was already closed down, and I was careless. I started with the FF8 demo. Very nice. We've been dispatched by Garden. We're seed trainees. Any news on the summit?
Water and water and water, water, 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 water and water and water.
On top of that, the place has always been a nesting ground for monsters. If you guys are going up, be careful! Ah! Yeah, thank you. Oh. Here we go. What are these sound effects, man? Maybe. I could do that on my debut. I was planning on playing the game that comes with my debut on my debut. We'll see how we go. I mean, I feel like I express how much I love this game pretty frequently. Probably to an unhealthy degree. Oh, dark mist. Oh, that's true. Ooh, owie. Nobody's junctioned. They definitely have GFs equipped, but I don't know what GF it is, because I can't, they won't let me into the menu. Let me in the menu! Let me see what everybody's got! Let me heal! Between fights! Monsters, huh? That sucks. All the more fun for us. Come on, let's go. Just realized we were too late. We should have added Squall Dakimakura in your BG. Fun, please. No menu. Let me in the menu. Menu. Oh, come on! Cardboard cutout would be pretty funny. I could still make that happen. He's the most handsome guy here. We don't have Quetzalcoatl. Oh, she's got Thundara. I don't have one. I have Squall Plush. I don't have a Ducky. By the time I started attending cons, her Dakimakura score was her pillow. It must not exist. By the time I started attending cons, they didn't have them. And getting things to Australia is quite difficult. Mesmerize? Double? The horn broke off, yep. Now it's pissed. Goodbye, Mesmerize. I don't know why you're here. This is not your home. This is not your usual locale. Usually you only get gizzards up here. Gizzards and Garbadian soldiers. Ooh. And hang on, if I hold... Okay. Need to double check that. Also, we're going off the cliff. The generator is up and running. Cable disconnection confirmed. Beginning the exchange process. No problem with the boosters. What the heck are they doing? Repairs? Well, whatever. This is your first battle, right? You scared? I don't have time to be thinking about fear. I love battles. I fear nothing. After each battle, you move one step closer to the goal. Goal? It's when your dream comes true. Huh? Dream? Sorry, but I'm gonna pass on that subject. What are you saying? Let me in on the battle plan. This is the demo, yeah. All the dialogue's different! Sorry, but I'm gonna have to pass on that subject. I think that line is the one that they use in Dissidia NT, but it's not that line in the original, in the actual main game. Oh no, it was. You were here. One of these days, I'm gonna tell you about my romantic dream. I think it's phrased slightly different though, you know. What the hell were you guys talking about? A subject I don't like talking about. Okay, let's go. Combat? Is there gonna be something else weird? Yes, it is! It's a Buell! Oh, it's on... Oh! Stop, please. Granola! And a Buell! We also have Leviathan! Owie! Renoa's face texture looks different, actually. Draw failed, fuck. Draw failed, fuck. Fuck! No, don't die! You're too handsome to die! Damn it. I have no idea how much HP this thing is gonna have in the demo, because it's got nothing in the main game. Like, it can be killed in one hit in the main game. It still has no HP. So draw will fail if you don't have enough magic stat, if your magic stat is too low, depending on it's depending on the level of the magic that you're trying to draw and your magic stat. Your magic stat determines on whether or not draw fails and how much magic you actually draw at once. So the higher your magic stat is, the more likely you're going to get a lot of magic and be successful. So I don't have the ability to junction these guys. They don't have magic junctioned at all. It doesn't look like they've got any junctions at all. So my magic stats in the fucking toilet. Okay, I can't jump off the cliff in this version of the game. Why? What? I think match's draw amount is 9 if I'm not mistaken. And fuck, I guess it's time to play FF8 again, Lemire. Yes, the max draw amount is 9. So the shortest amount of time it will take you to get 100 of any magic is 10 draws. 11 draws, sorry. Because the last one will be 1. Double! 1 double! Yes, please! 1 double! Leviathan doesn't have its own HP. It's not actually protecting Renoa. That's Renoa's HP. Oh shit. Don't kill my GF. I don't think it can then. Yeah, give me the Blazaras. How close do you want to be? Back off! Renoa's face texture is different too, which is interesting. It's interesting that they've changed that between here and the main game, because everybody else's looks the same. Like, a lot of the sound effects are different, but most of the textures look the same. Goodbye, Mesmerize. We hardly knew ye. Can you not? Owie. Fight. Meteor Barret. Okay. Yep. So everyone's got limit breaks they don't normally have at this point of the game. Which, fair. Like, here's how cool our game is. Squall's got Faded Circle for the people who weren't here for earlier. Is this gonna be another weird one, or is it gonna be one we've seen so far? It's gonna be the same. Alright. That's fine. Calm down! Owie! I miss the days of playing demos on discs. That's how I ended up learning of Legend of Dragoon as a kid. Yeah, me too. There's just something really special about a curated demo that they knew that, like, they couldn't edit or change anything about that it had to be the perfect encapsulation of exactly what the game was. Oh, they don't have cursor memory. Also, something I really like about the PlayStation version is, like, the name text is a different font to ordinary text, and it's not like that in the PC version. I wish I had this font. I want to know what font that is that's being used for their names. I want it. I don't know what font it is. I'll figure it out eventually. Oh. Nice and cinematic for you. I don't have boost, but this button works, so that's nice. HP! Is Elverett up here? I assume Elverett's up here. Ah! Ah! You cowards. Thanks to you, I feel like I could kick anyone's ass. Oh, no save point. Up there? No draw point. This map looks weird. This map is definitely different to what appears in the main game. Oh. Oh no, there it is. I think we can take this lift up. Take lift. Different sound effect. The font is custom, if I recall correctly. That makes sense, but I'm wondering why it didn't come across to the PC version then. Lieutenant Biggs! There has been a report of a monster-like shadow on the top of an antenna. Yeah, and? Lieutenant Biggs! Be quiet, I'm busy. This goes like this. Why are these parts all so old and crummy? It's a Marco reactor, FF8 version. Why am I doing all the repairs? Ah! So I'll check around while the repairs are being done. Let's see. Put this here and this is do this and there, it's complete. Do you think I need to flip this? I think I need to flip this. Sorry. I don't trust Square Enix. Yay! Focal evasion! He looks like Leon. I've been copyright struck. No, this is the Final Fantasy VIII Trial Edition. I'm a Final Fantasy VIII freak. Hi, Nagi Beta. Welcome. Square Enix copyright claimed me. For the last time I played this, when I played the randomizer version of it, they copyright claimed me and I had to dispute it and then they didn't respond. So it got, what are you doing? So it got dismissed, but I'm trying to avoid having it happen again. Because then I have to wait for them to respond to me and not do it again. Yeah, they're pretty bad with the claims. They just auto-claim stuff. Huh? What do you think you're doing here?
water and water and water, water, 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 water and water and water.
I mean, I could go get water. Yeah, I'll go get water. Sure. Be right back. I'm going to go get water. Uncapped hydrate only means that I still do this. There we go. There's the hydrate. I can see there's another hydrate. There we go. I've hydrated. This is not a Go Piss Girl stream. Hey, what's going on with the soldiers down below? There was nobody down there. I didn't get any fights. Wedge! Do something. Wedge? Wedge? Thank you for the head pat. I have no more business with this antenna, so I'm leaving out of my way. No way! What the hell are you doing? Shut up! Standard battle theme? Owie. Give me some more cure. Give me the cure. The enemy? Here? Where have you been? You're getting your pay. Hey, why'd I come? Cinematic? Sorry. slash. Ow. Donk. Okay, I'm not gonna be playing that tonight. I'm sick as well. Here we go. So the 200 is Leviathan's HP. Owie. Owie. Sick lady needs rest. No time to start a different game. Yeah. Got him. Oh. It's time. Are we gonna switch boss themes? No? That's weird. Where's my boss theme? Was it not done? Maybe it wasn't done by this point. What the hell is that? Great question. Owie. Hi, Wolf Horror, welcome! It's going well! This demo is a lot harder than base game. Like, the fact that you can't heal between fights really makes a big difference. So this is Final Fantasy VIII, originally released in 1999. This is the 1998 demo. Significant differences to the actual release. The game is about a bunch of mercenaries going to go fight against a dictatorship. And then lots of other things happen. Leviathan, don't die! No! Okay. That's okay. I can see why that particular ability isn't in the main game. Squall's hair keeps clipping into his face. Oh, okay, Squall. You're just showing off that you've got a higher magic stat, huh? Either of those two boys should be casting magic at Squall. Can I have some more Blizzaras, please? Thank you. Squall has the third best magic stat in the game. If you were to look at raw character stats, which don't actually really matter in this game particularly, it does matter with Renoa, because she gets 20 points higher in both strength and magic. And it so is easier to like get to end game stats, but it goes Renoa, Selfie, then Squall, then Quistis, Zell, Irvine. I believe Zell and Irvine might be interchangeable, which is also reflected by their overall compatibility with GF, so it's not even just this oversight, it is actually a character trait. Thank you. Yeah, I am a big fan of this game. I play quite a bit of older games on the channel. I'm out of Cure. Up your pop, thank you. Nice. Streaming's fun. Or you video making. I'm doing both. I got a video coming out on Friday. Hehe. Nice. Nice camera angles. But my double wore off? Double doesn't usually wear off. Also wish this was inactive. Why isn't Zell on draw duty? Because it doesn't matter. can't change magic between characters. No menu access. Very interesting to play it like this. This is the demo. The 1998 trial version. That's why, Don't Be Afraid's playing. I'm doing a bit of stalking because we still have to deal with Spider Boy. Got him. Sound effects the same. So many sound effects are different. And like, they're not even Final Fantasy VII sound effects. They're just different. Nice. Hi. Are you from B Squad? A Dollet soldier. I'm Squall from B Squad. Who's the squad leader? Seed and Sea trainees are withdraw at 1900 hours. You are to assemble by the shore. Withdraw? I only came here to deliver this message. And I'm sure you can appreciate that this withdrawal is a direct order. Fuck. What time do we meet? As I said, Seed and Seed trainees are to withdraw at 1900 hours. You are to assemble by the shore. 1900 hours? That's only in 15 minutes. 15 minutes, come on. Going to be cool. Off on his own again. He's selfish. I don't like him. Thanks, Zell. We know. Yeah, okay, yeah, I don't care. I'm not examining you. I'm leaving. Take the lift down. We got 15 minutes. We gotta book it, baby. They won't get away. Get those stupid kids. Go, 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 move it! I'm enjoying the swearing. Makes them feel like teenagers. Uh-oh. Let me out. We got places to be. Huh? Why does Zell still have double active? Interesting. Owie. Zell's Squall's about to die. the demo today. No items were found! No items for me! Yeah, uh-oh. Move it, move it, move it, move it, move it, move it, move it. Keep going! The demo starts from Dollet, yes. Run! They don't have run. They didn't have the. They don't have them in main game either. They don't have walk animations in this section. Okay, now move it. Zell has 4 HP, okay? I am skilled, I am talented, I am experienced, I am a seed candidate! Keep going, everybody! Run! Keep going! Goodbye, car. You can't S-rank by fighting the spider. You have to run away from the spider, but only once, and it only counts the once. If you keep running away, then it affects your overall rank anyway. Ow. Thank you, random citizen. It's not Quistis, no Quistis in this at all. Winter 1999. Cool. That's it. Gotta hide the hot lady. That's the end of the demo, everybody. Did you have fun? I had fun. Jump back in here. Thank you for the bits, Wimbley. I love me some Final Fantasy VIII. I love me some Final Fantasy VIII. Back over here. Big stretch. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was the Final Fantasy VIII trial version demo. So there were 2 demos released for Final Fantasy VIII. There was the one that was released for Europe, which is pretty much this section of the game, but exactly as it is in the actual game. So there's no actual discernible difference. Petra loves FF8. I don't believe her. It's alright. I talked for over an hour as it is. Also, I'm sick, so I don't know how well PoE would have gone anyway. But then there's this version. And this version obviously has quite a bit of, like, pretty much every piece of dialogue is different. So you had Cypher doing the opening dialogue for telling us what the mission was. You had Squall turning around in the middle of the mission going, "Who are we fighting?" And so I was like, the Galbadia army, obviously. Because obviously you haven't had any of the initial context for the rest of the game by this, like, you're just playing a demo. There's no context. You don't know who the fuck you're fighting. The characters are swearing. Yeah, it is really interesting. I actually really appreciate, part of what I appreciate about Final Fantasy VII Remake is people swearing. Like, up until literally, I would even say like 2018, 2020, swearing was still quite limited in media. Like, you had Supernatural started in 2005, but they never started swearing in that show. You had TV shows start bringing in more like realistic dialogue with people swearing quite late into the game. And games also is like, it took a long time for games to actually start putting swearing in them. Final Fantasy VII has swearing in it. Like, Barrett swears at you at the very beginning of the game. There's quite a lot of swearing in, like, but it's sort of used as an emphatic thing, is like, this character is really like brash, you know? They're a bit rough and tumble, brash character. So it's used for Sid and it's used for Barrett, and it's not really used for the other characters. But I quite liked in Remake, like when Aerith like trips and like almost falls, and she has to grab onto the ledge. She goes, "Shit!" Which is like a completely valid reaction to what had just happened. And like, there's a couple of instances where like Cloud like does like no shit and it's like sassy dialogue, which I quite enjoy. I do feel like if we ever did get an updated version of Final Fantasy VIII, there would be quite a few characters that are just throwing bombs out all the time. I think both Cypher and Zell would be really bad for it, but I think even Squall, like, we saw Squall is like, in this version of it, in his like, in the actual main game, he says, "I feel like I could take on anyone, even if they do fight dirty like you." It is a very verbose response, whereas in this version, he says, "I feel like I can kick anyone's ass," which is a very funny response. Like, it's just so to the point. So like, he kind of mixes between like those really short answers and then slightly more verbose and more wordy in other sections. You can tell that this is early dialogue because it kind of reflects some of the cut stuff that we have in like we've seen in the Game Shark, like the dialogue where Squall's thinking to himself about the girlfriend that he once had, not everybody knows about that particular dialogue, but like it exists. Like Squall was thinking like, I had a girlfriend and it didn't go well because she wanted things from me that I was not really capable of. Like it kind of just fell apart because like that's just not who I am. And it was really, but it was cut not because it was out of character, right? Because a lot of the stuff, like a lot of stuff you would expect to be writing wise to get cut because it was out of character. It was cut because it was too wordy and too long. It was just a lot of like Squall's like blah 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 blah, which Squall does a lot of in the game, but like he could do more. He could be doing more of it. We all know he could be doing more of it. So, yeah, that was the Final Fantasy VIII trial version, and I think I am actually going to wrap up for tonight. I think you probably can hear it that it's like just a constant now, like a little bit of a at the back, like at the back of my throat, where I'm not 100% in my vocals, and I do need to go and rest up because I am sick. There's also stuff going on in my life that I should be rested for. So, and I would like to get better as fast as possible. So, thank you everybody so much for coming along. I hope you enjoyed the trial version of Final Fantasy VIII and our discussions. I will be back hopefully tomorrow. We'll see how I go. I should be here tomorrow for Final Fantasy X. But we'll see how it goes. I will catch you all later. Am I an auntie yet? That's the thing that's going on in my life. So, but I don't get to see Bubba until for another week. So today is Wednesday, so the Tuesday coming, next Tuesday, from Mother Petra to Auntie Petra. Yeah, I always said call me Auntie. I've been saying Auntie since the beginning, and then I misspelled Moth. So, egg on my face. Egg on my face. But yeah, I am going to wrap up. Thank you everybody so much for coming. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are. And remember to be kind to everybody. I'll catch you later. Bye-bye. Yeah, thank you, Soup Guru. No, don't knock me out. No, no. Ow, bonk, bonk, bonk. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bye.